It's time for Thunder at the Fair with Mitch Nellis.
Broadcasting live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios. Powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
This is Thunder at the Fair. My name is Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. Seeing all sorts of friendly faces here at Wisconsin State Fair. Opening day. It was packed. I bet right now you could drive right in. I bet the lines have cooled down a little bit, but it is crowded. Like, people are here. There's a great rock band playing. I don't know who, but they just played Crazy Train. So shout out to Ozzy Osbourne. Pour one out for Oz. Amazing, amazing career for him. My name is Mitch Nellis, and we're just having a blast here. You're used to hearing me on the Mason Crosby Show from 9 to 11. Tommy and Mason are holding it down for now. You're used to hearing Rich Eisen right now from 11 to 2. And he's, well, the Wisconsin State Fair trumps Mr. Eisen because I am here every day, 11 to 2. And then Sparky's here from 2 to 5. A Warren Spahn Braves jersey. Man, one of my favorite things in life is just being, out and about and watching just cool, whether it's old or random jerseys of players. And Warren Spahn definitely not so random, but like old and a guy to be honored. And what a great look at sir. That is a fantastic jersey. It's one of the all-timers. That is awesome. Thank you. The winningest left-hander of all time. Yep, no, Warren Spahn. Unbelievable. Thank you, sir. That's right. Sparky is pulling his hair out right now. He's like, Mitch, the one thing you can't do at State Fair is get distracted by everything that happens. And I'm like, Sparky, I hear you.
That's a fair distraction, though. A Warren Spahn jersey in the wild is pretty cool.
Exactly. I totally agree. Thanks to Mark Baden for joining us on the Fan Guest Hotline, brought to you by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Loved having Mark jump on. Give us a little weather report, but then just talking Brewers and Packers, and Mark's a fan. And listen, that's what we're here for. Like, that's what we do here at 1250 and 105.7 FM. We talk about sports because we're fans. And, yeah, I always make fun. Like, I joke that I love food. I do love food. Listen, I love food. But we're not going to get in deep into weird topics that maybe you're interested in and maybe you're not. Because we're all here to talk sports together, right? We're all here to talk Brewers and Bucks. We got a Wisconsin shirt walking by that's got the Badger logo, the Brewers logo, the Bucks logo, the Packers logo. I mean, that's getting it done. And that's probably a Badger fan. You throw Marquette in there as well. And this is why I love Mrs. Thunder. Like, this is why we get along so well. She just texted me, spawn insane and pray for rain. Charlie, I don't know if you know that reference. Have you heard that ever?
I do not. No, I have not.
Okay, so back when the Milwaukee Braves weren't quite making the World Series back-to-back years in 57 and 58, they had two pitchers. They had Warren Spahn and they had Johnny Sane. And they were great, and everybody else stunk. Imagine if you had, you had Freddie and you had Woody, and then you had three Jeff Supans.
All right.
Okay?
I can imagine that.
Though that's being mean to Soup. I mean, Soup pitched great. So that was like the saying in Milwaukee, and then when they moved to Atlanta as well. It was spot and saying and pray for rain because you knew you were getting two dominant performances out of those two guys, and then like you never knew, like it was a wild card with the rest of the guys. So that's one of those fun ones. This is 1250 AM 105.7 FM. We are presented by the Sportsbook at Potawatomi Hotel Casino. 414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line. We've thrown a couple questions out at you if you want to chime in. Today is Major League Baseball trade deadline. We are monitoring it. Actually, as much as we're monitoring it, man, if you don't follow Sparky Radio on Twitter, like, first of all, what are you doing? Like, everyone should be following Sparky. But Sparky's on top of every rumor, everything going on with regards to the trade deadline. Like, I'm getting my news from Sparky, which is amazing because I love that. We haven't seen much movement, I don't think, since the Padres got Mason Miller from the A's. Oh, what do you got for me, Charlie?
About 5 minutes ago, the Philadelphia Phillies are finalizing a trade to acquire outfielder Harrison Bader from the Minnesota Twins. Sources tell ESPN.
Yep. Man, does Harrison Bader, by the way, former Lakeshore Chinook, at Concordia University up in Mequon, Harrison Bader. Harrison Bader gets traded every trade deadline, does he not?
He does.
And I know the Yankees traded a couple days ago or maybe yesterday, maybe 2 days ago, for a different backup outfielder. But they've had Harrison Bader before. They were definitely kicking the tires on Harrison Bader. Harrison Bader, I mean, whatever. I wish he was a little bit better. And I feel like he was on the trajectory to be a little bit better, and he's just never quite gotten there. He'll have 2 weeks where he'll be great, and then he'll have 2 weeks where he can't hit out of a paper bag.
Well, and I think you look at Harrison Bader, and he's with the rest of those St. Louis Cardinals guys that were in that outfield. So Tyler O'Neill, who never really was able to find that full potential until recently. Dylan Carlson is somewhere in the major leagues right now, and nobody knows where he is because he never reached that full potential. He's in that same group.
That is a great Tyler O'Neill because Tyler O'Neill, when he was on the Red Sox for a couple of years, I think in back-to-back opening days hit a home run, and it was like, oh, we got our guy, and then he never. Now he's on the Orioles, and he had a home run the other day. I saw he had homered in 3 straight days, and it's like, man, he can do that, but then he goes missing for a couple of weeks, and Harrison Bader kind of that same thing. So we wish him well. We don't wish the Phillies well, though. That's for sure. There's no reason to wish the Phillies well. But we are going to keep our eye on the Major League Baseball trade deadline as we turn our attention to our Green Bay Packers. Packers with the day off yesterday, but that means all the assistant coaches get to talk. And the assistant coaches did talk yesterday. Adam Stenavich spoke. Jeff Hafley spoke. Rich Bisaccia spoke. Adam Stenavich, the offensive coordinator for our Green Bay Packers. And I know we've been talking a lot since training camp started, since OTAs were going on. What's going to happen with Jordan Morgan? What's going to happen with the offensive line? What's happening with Elton Jenkins? And then, of course, they start training camp, and Jordan Morgan is not in those first 5 guys. So Adam Stenavich talked about what he likes from Jordan Morgan in that offensive line. Let's hear from Adam.
I like what I'm seeing from Jordan, and he's competing, at the tackle spot and at the guard spot, and he's looking pretty solid. So we're going to have a lot of interesting choices up front, not only with him but with a bunch of guys, because they're all competing really hard and doing a good job. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see how this all shakes out for sure.
A lot of interesting choices there up front. Charlie, you know what I don't want?
What's that?
I don't really want interesting. I want 5 guys who are your dogs, and every down you are getting everything from them. And I like having a 6th guy who can slide in where you're not, because we saw it against Philly in the playoffs last year when there were injuries on that front line, that guys who came in weren't ready. They were not. It wasn't next man up. It was next man. And so if Jordan Morgan can be that guy, great. That's exciting. That's helpful. But I want your 5 best dogs out there battling every down. And if Jordan Morgan's not one of those top 5, first of all, I'm like, did they waste the first-round pick? Even if he's starter quality. But then part of me is like, you know what? If we've got 6 starting quality offensive linemen and one of them's not going to play that much, sucks for him, but good for you as your team. You need that depth. You need that. So I don't know. I know that Tommy is on record as saying that Jordan Morgan's going to start. They're going to figure it out. And I think he's not. I think they like that he can play left tackle or right guard, that other guys can move around, that Zach Tom can move around, that maybe Belton ends up being, another dog who's not going to start but can end up playing some downs. And maybe they get Morgan a series a game just to make sure he's in the rotation, just to make sure he doesn't get stale or whatever. I was going to say not get fat, but all offensive linemen are fat, so I wouldn't.
And not nowadays. A lot of those dudes are a lot more ripped and shaped.
I know. They
Mason
still got a little
Mason
belly.
was defending the kickers early. I'm going to defend the offensive linemen now.
You are.
All the unheralded positions get love today.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. But, it's fine that it's quote-unquote interesting. But come on, Stanovich, just throw your 5 best guys out there, which I think they've done. I think they've told us, without telling us, that it's not Morgan. But that you are much better equipped this year to deal with injury, because no matter what position gets injured at the offensive line, because somebody's going to get hurt. Hopefully it's just nicks, and hopefully they miss a game or whatever. Hopefully it's not a big deal. Somebody's going to get hurt. But hopefully what we see happen is that they are ready to just move the next guy up, and Jordan Morgan then is ready to make that move.
Well, and I look at the other guys in that backup offensive line group, and I have a lot more confidence in a guy like Jacob Monk this season as well. I have a lot of confidence in an Anthony Belton to be able to slide in somewhere too. I'm just a lot more confident in the second unit of this offensive line in general, which I think also does bring some questions into the starters as well, and I think that's questions they're looking to answer right now with a Jordan Morgan. I think in some facet, like you were saying, he's going to play this season. I think ideally you'd like to find him a spot in the starting lineup, but if you can't find him a spot in the starting lineup, then I think it's a little bit of a loss. I don't think it's as much of a win as a lot of people are putting it out there like you're saying it is. I think if he's not starting and he was a first-round pick last year, then yes, it's nice to have a good 6 offensive lineman, but realistically, do you need that good of a 6 offensive lineman? Was it worth getting using a first-round pick when a guy like Elton Jenkins, who you put through the same kind of process, was able to show out right away in a later pick? Like, I think this is something that I look at.
And I'll even pile on, is it worth using a first-round pick on a guy and then the next year using a second-round pick on a guy?
Yep.
Because if Belton can play, you've got 7 offensive linemen. Maybe it means a trade could happen at some point. We don't often see player-for-player trades in the NFL, but we do see them more than we used to. So it could mean a trade could be in the works. Or it could, but I will say I do like 6. I do like 6 starting linemen. I think with the rate that guys get hurt, I do think you need that. Charlie, I don't know if you heard the marching band go by. Mm-hmm. It was a red H.
All right.
Any guesses who the red H might be?
Sussex Hamilton would be my guess.
Okay, Sussex Hamilton's a great guess.
Or Homestead would be the other.
Or Homestead.
Yeah.
Hortonville.
Oh, that was not on my guess list.
I know Hartford is orange.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what a Heartland is. Is Heartland Arrowhead, or is that a different? Does Heartland have its own school also?
I think they just go to Arrowhead, as far as I know.
And they're red, but they're also light blue.
Yeah.
This was pure red. I think Homestead was a good guess. Sussex Hamilton's is also red. Hortonville, the Hortonville Marching Band, absolutely tearing it up here at the State Fair. We have Peter Bukowski coming up. Before we get to him, I do want to hear about Adam Stenavich reacting to early Matthew Golden. Matthew Golden, of course, just making play after play after play at training camp. Let's hear what Adam Stenavich had to say about Matthew Golden.
No, he's done a really good job. He reminds me of a lot of the wide receivers from a couple years ago that we had. Just a really hardworking guy, very diligent, doing everything that he can do off the field to just be prepared for practice. And you just really respect his work ethic so far, and I think that's going to go far in allowing him to, just play fast when his opportunity's called.
Which receivers in particular were you talking about there, Steno?
Just like, Christian, Romeo, all those guys when they were young. Yeah, when they came in, they were just really hard workers. He reminds me a lot of them.
Listen, Adam Stenavich is probably not allowed to say what he really thinks. Like, I think he's more excited about Matthew Golden than he's letting on, just based on what we're seeing. But I will also say something that Mason Crosby shared with us yesterday. It's like, we see the big plays at camp, but we don't see the running plays by Josh Jacobs, what Matthew Golden's doing, or if the pass goes to the other side, what Matthew Golden's doing. And I think that's what's really going to set him apart if he's ready to do that. We're going to have to see what he's doing down in and down out. Is he scrapping? We heard the other day that Jaden Reed really got a good block on LVN. Is Golden getting pieces of everybody? Is he getting in everybody's face, or is he not in the right position yet? Again, as a rookie, not knowing what he's supposed to do. So we'll keep our eyes not just on the wow plays, because we have a good feeling that Matthew Golden can make the wow plays. He's got to be consistent when it comes to all the rest of the plays as well.
100%. And I think the way that we've seen the rest of these Packers wide receivers, like you mentioned, Jaden Reed blocking LVN, but there's a reason Bo Melton is really still on this team is because he was doing all those intangible things, the blocking players outside of plays, running good routes otherwise. That's why he still gets a shot. And I think this Packers team is loaded with guys like that. And if Matthew Golden is working with them, he should be all right.
I know that Jeff Halfley talked about Bo Melton and some other things going on the defense. We'll get to some of that sound later on in the hour. Ooh, almost we had a little accident over here. With this wind, you never know what's going to happen. Things are flying at State Fair, so hold on to your hats. Someone who always holds on to his hat, Peter Bukowski, is going to join us coming up next here on Thunder at the Fair. My name's Mitch Nellis. You're listening to The Fan. Yes, sir. This is Thunder at the Fair. My name is Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. We're presented by the Sportsbook at Potawatomi. It is going to be lit Saturday night and Sunday night. Get there. SummerSlam. That's right, the annual event. Cody Rhodes and John Cena. Man, this one's going to get physical, my friends. This one's getting personal. I'm hearing a lot of rumors about the ways that this could go. I'm excited to see what happens. And, of course, Roman Reigns and Jey Uso teaming up against Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. That should be a blast as well. You're listening to 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan. We're on the free Odyssey app. We're on the free iHeart app. And joining us now on the Fan Guest Line, powered by Gruber Law, he is the one and the only Peter Bukowski. And, man, your head of hair just gets – every time I see you, that head of hair just looks better and better and better.
It's so funny because I was gonna say I want to know who picked this photo of you that they're using on the crawl on the bottom. You from
that was me.
Christmas with a Santa Claus beard. I didn't catch that it's like a Christmas sweater until you went to break, and I saw the full majesty of the sweater. That is an incredible ensemble, my friend.
So in a past life at one of the former stations I was at, 5 of us bought those sweaters and took like a holiday picture. And it's still one of the best pictures I've ever taken my entire life. But I have no idea. Like, I saw that this morning, and I'm like, Charlie, how did that become? He's like, well, it was the clearest one on Google I could find of you. And I'll take it. I think that's a great picture. So for those of you who don't know, we are now live on YouTube. So at The Fan Milwaukee, find us on YouTube, watch us on YouTube, watch the highlights, watch hour by hour, watch live, watch recorded, whatever you want to do. But we are bringing all the best in sports entertainment to you. Well, I did talk about WWE, so I had to mention sports entertainment.
Yeah.
But we are getting it done here. Peter joining us on the Fan Guest Hotline. And I'm going to go right into offensive line because I am of the mind that Jordan Morgan is not going to be starting. I know that many people have predicted he is going to be starting because the team wants him to start. I think he is the odd man out. I think he's the 6th man. I think he does see some playing time, but I think he's not out there. What are you seeing from the offensive line so far in training camp?
I think I was very I wouldn't say disconcerted, but I was interested to see how they handled early on this alleged competition with Jordan Morgan at left tackle. I found that weird because he hasn't competed at left tackle. So it's like, how can you be in a competition at left tackle by not playing left tackle? It was a very bizarre thing. He was rotating with Sean Ryan at right guard when Aaron Banks was out. He was playing left guard. So it's like, okay, I thought Brian Gutekunst said in February he's going to compete. And Matt LaFleur said in the spring that he was going to compete. And then today is really the first day that he's been out there with the ones at left tackle for any real opportunities here once the pads have come on. So maybe this will change. Adam Stenavich said yesterday that is part of the plan, that he will get a chance to compete here. I think at the very least he will be part of the rotation. Remember, he started the year last year in a platoon with Sean Ryan. I can't imagine he will be anything less than that going into week 1 here. But I do worry about this, Mitch. Like, if they have a little bit too much, the phrase that I've been using is a little bit too much dip on their chip here with this. Like, he's playing left guard, he's playing right guard, he's going to get some time at left tackle. Like, can you just let him compete for a job? Like, if you want him to play, just let him compete with Sean Ryan and be the best right guard at practice. Moving him around so much is just, it's not fair to him if that's what you want out of him.
So, and Peter Bukowski, I think you're right on. And Peter joins us from The Leap and Locked On Sports and Locked On Packers. I think you're right, but I think what they want out of is I think they want him to be the 6th man at the end of the day. I think they want ultimate flexibility where no matter who gets hurt, whether it's for a series or a half or a game, and hopefully it's not more than that. We don't wish injury on anybody. But no matter who gets hurt, no matter where, Jordan Morgan can slide into a position, whether it's him to that position or him moving somebody else, where there's a seamless transition that he can slide in, where it's not him just competing with Sean Ryan for one position. It's the fact that no matter who gets hurt, no matter when it happens, they are ready, and they do not miss a beat moving him into that top 5.
I mean, that there would certainly be value in that, but I think from a long-term perspective, Sean Ryan is a free agent at the end of this year. Rasheed Walker is a free agent at the end of this year. They want Jordan Morgan to be the long-term starter at one of those positions. So why not give him that opportunity now? And then Anthony Belton, who they just used a second-round pick on, let him be your backup tackle. If Jordan Morgan wins the right guard job, you've got Sean Ryan to come in there and play. If there's an injury along the offensive line, he's getting reps at center as well. And if Jordan Morgan wins the left tackle job, same thing, only swap Rasheed Walker with Anthony Belton. Now you've got 2 swing tackles that you can play. You don't just need one guy to be the do-it-all, fix-it guy. You have a number of players. This is, and I've been saying this all offseason, this is the deepest offensive line in the NFL. And it may not be the best offensive line in the NFL. I think Detroit, I think Philadelphia still have better offensive lines. I think there are a couple other, maybe you throw Denver in there, maybe Minnesota. But there isn't another team that has 7, 8 guys that they feel comfortable playing. I think there are 8 offensive linemen currently on this roster who would start for half the teams in the league. And that is a unique place for them to be.
It is. So big picture wise, my question then is, we're arguing over, or we're not arguing, we're discussing like over who should play in which position on the offensive line. We could. Does any of it really matter? Or as long as you have a really good offensive line, like that's protecting Jordan Love, that Josh Jacobs and the guys can run from, that gives the wide receivers time to get open, like as long as you have a really good offensive line, should we even care about who's playing which position? Just go out and be great.
Yeah, I mean, you're right insofar as I think they're going to be good no matter what. Like their 5 from last year was good. They were a top 10 offensive line last year by whatever metric you want. So that's fine. The question is, can they get better? And I think the theory is you move Elton Jenkins to center. He's an upgrade over Josh Myers. Immediately, they should be better, right? Like I think Aaron Banks, even though I thought they paid a little too much money for them, is a net upgrade because I think Jenkins is going to be that much better than Josh Myers, and Banks will be a better player at left guard than Myers was at center. So then the question is, can you get an upgrade on Rasheed Walker? Can you get an upgrade on Sean Ryan? And then you could be like, if Jordan Morgan, let's say he starts at right guard. Now maybe you go from the 8th or 9th best offensive line in the league to the 4th. Well, that's a material difference. And now Jordan Love has more time. Now the running game, there's more opportunities. Like Josh Jacobs was awesome last year with kind of mediocre run blocking. So if you could level up this offense again, like what was it that let the Packers down in the big games last year? It was the offense. And so if you can get the offensive line, it all starts up front. Get that offensive line a little bit better, and now you have a chance, I think, to move yourself into that true blue contender status in the NFC. So it matters the quality of the line. It only matters who is on it in as much as those guys serving as potential upgrades over last year.
Peter Bukowski joining us on Thunder at the Fair. Special programming today, tomorrow, and all of next week as we are at Wisconsin State Fair. Co-founder of The Leap, host of Locked on Packers. Find him on Twitter at Peter_Bukowski. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you and how excited should Packers fans be about Matthew Golden?
Oh, man. My listeners know that I was not a huge Matthew Golden fan in the pre-draft. I did not think he was a first-round quality player. And so when they took him in the first round, I went, okay, this is interesting. I thought if there was I predicted they would take a receiver in the first round. I did not think it would be. I didn't think they were going to break a 25-year streak of not taking receivers with a guy 5'11", 190. I thought that seemed unlikely to me. But I mean, by any standard, it seems like he's been one of the 5 most impressive players in training camp. And that is pretty exciting. I wrote about this the other day. We kind of don't know how to handle this in Packers Nation, like media, fans, anybody, because like we just haven't seen them draft a player this town. This is the most pedigreed receiver that they have drafted in a quarter century. And when Javon Walker was picked, that was when half the teams in college football were still running triple options. And so you weren't getting the same caliber of player right away. So now you have these guys coming in more ready than ever to compete. And he's coming in right away and competing. I was trying to count. I think they've had 6 or 7 practices, and he has been the starter in team with the very first group, because they've come out in 12 personnel most of the time, in more than half of those practices. Like that, like not Jaden Reed. It's been Romeo Doubs and Matthew Golden, not Dontavian Wicks. It's been those 2 guys. And I think the Packers are telling us what they want from Matthew Golden this year. Same day highlight from the Packers social team yesterday, which we never see. And it was one of the Matthew Golden long touchdowns. Like the hype is kind of off the charts. And I'll be honest, I have never been more ready to take an L on a player after a week of training camp than I am with Matthew Golden in my pre-draft on him.
I love it. The Hortonville high school band is walking by right now. So that's
it's like the Oscars. They were like, all right, he's said enough. Get him off. Get him off.
Yep. You're getting played off. No, you're still with us for a couple more minutes. Don't worry about it, Peter. As I'm like super anti power rankings or position rankings and those sort of things. I think that's like all made up, bananas, whatever. With that said, how important for the full optimal success of the team this year is the quarterback Jordan Love and him taking that step too? I mean, listen, it'd be great if he was the best quarterback in the league and a superstar. But how important is it for him to just be like a star and be really, really good this year?
So I saw this great stat yesterday that if you adjust for schedule, the only quarterback in the NFL that did not have a bad game last year by EPA generated was Jordan Love.
Okay.
The only quarterback to not have.
Okay.
He had 2 games where he threw multiple interceptions. One was the Vikings game where he also threw 4 touchdowns and an interception went right off the hands of 2 of his players. And then the other one was the Texans game. He threw 2 picks. He also threw 3 touchdowns in that game. And as you recall, marched the team down the field in the fourth quarter like it was nothing against one of the best defenses in the league. The only 2 quarterbacks last year, Mitch, who had above average games against the defenses relative to average, right? More often than Jordan Love. Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. Pretty good.
I've heard of them.
The MVP and the runner-up, who a lot of people thought should have been the MVP, like one of the most contested MVP races in recent vintage. So
definitely,
he doesn't have to be Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. He just needs to be consistent like that. And we've already seen him in the playoffs. He lit a top 10 Cowboys defense on fire in his playoff debut. We've seen him do that. So I can't hold last year too much against him, but I think if he can move into, like, everyone seems to agree the top 3 quarterbacks, top 4 quarterbacks, it's like Mahomes, Allen, Jackson, Burrow. After that, there's a conversation. If he moves into that conversation in a real way, the Packers will be Super Bowl contenders. He doesn't have to be 5th. He doesn't have to be 4th. If he's 7th, if he's 8th, this team is good enough. The defense is good enough. The playmakers are good enough. The coaching is good enough. They can be contenders this year.
Amazing. Peter Bukowski joining us, Locked On Packers and The Leap. And then finally, I'm gonna ask you an open-ended question. You can take this in any direction you want. On the defensive side of the ball, who is showing up for you so far? Again, knowing that it's not even August 1st yet. It's been 6 or 7 practices. Who on the defensive side of the ball are you keeping an extra eye on right now?
The obvious answer is Lucas Van Ness, because I think in order for this team to reach its ceiling, he needs to be a markedly better player than he was. And it seems like we just did an episode of Locked On Packers where we led with this. He is checking the boxes. I said in maybe May, I said if Lucas Van Ness is taking a step forward, we will know right away in camp. Like if he can help the Packers this year, we will know right away. And if he can't, we will know right away. And it seems like he has taken that step, winning one-on-ones against Rasheed Walker, against Jordan Morgan, against guys that they want to be a meaningful part of this offensive line.
From your mouth to God's ears, Peter.
Seems to be making plays every practice. The other guy that I just want to shout out, because I don't want to have it go unnoticed. Xavier McKinney is, I know Packer fans are a little spurned by what happened with Devondre Campbell. He makes an all-pro team. You pay him, and he stinks after that. I think Xavier McKinney has a chance. He may not have 8 interceptions or whatever he had last year. I think he's going to be an all-pro again. He has been everywhere in practice. They're getting weirder with the way that they're using their defensive backs. They're mixing and matching, and they've got 6 guys who can play the slot. And I just think we're going to see a lot of weirdness from Jeff Hafley, and I think Xavier McKinney is going to be the beneficiary of it. He looks like he's ready to build on an all-pro season and say, hey, look, when we talk about the best safeties in the league, if you don't mention me, you're not really having that conversation.
And that's crazy to think about, right? Like he's already all-pro, and you're saying he could be even better.
It's not out of the realm of possibilities at all. And he was the biggest reason last year that they were able to manage with the cornerbacks that they had. Teams were not throwing. You remember in the middle of the last year, he was like, I'm kind of annoyed because teams just stopped throwing at me. Like he's like, I want to play.
He had an interception every game, and then all of a sudden,
he had 5 interceptions,
he had no more interceptions because nobody threw
like,
near him.
We're out. Yeah, we're out.
It's not worth it. Well, Peter, co-founder of The Leap, host of Locked On Packers, Peter Bukowski. I know you are a frequent contributor with our good friend Andy Herman and the Pack-A-Day radio show and the Pack-A-Day podcast. Thank you so much for jumping on today. I'm sure we'll grab you sometime in August as the roster takes shape, and we'll get you on the Mason Crosby show as well, so you and Mace can go after it as well. And I really appreciate your time today.
All right. Thanks, guys.
You bet. Peter Bukowski joining us here on Thunder at the Fair. Storyteller extraordinaire and communications guru Tim McCormick with the State Fair going to join us next. Tell us about all the great things going on. Charlie, any breaking news, any baseball trades you need to update us? Remember, today is the Major League Baseball trade deadline. We're going to keep you updated on every move going on, and we are waiting on pins and needles to see if not when, but if the Brewers make a move.
No big moves since we last checked in. Right now, the latest move was Brock Stewart, relief pitcher, being moved on from the Twins to the Dodgers. He has about a 2.38 ERA right now. The Dodgers are also getting stronger in the National League.
Yeah, and this is the second move they've made. They were in a three-team trade, I think, with Tampa and Cincinnati, where they picked up some relievers. And I will call Brock Stewart Brock Lesnar for the rest of the show. Charlie, thanks for the update. We will continue to go to you for all the latest news and notes as we are here at the Wisconsin State Fair opening day. Absolutely beautiful. It is a fantastic, fantastic day. Tim McCormick with the Fair will join us next here. This is Thunder at the Fair presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook, and you are listening to The Fan. That's right. This is Thunder at the Fair. My name is Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder, and it is absolutely a perfect day. It is beautiful out here at the Wisconsin State Fair.
Do we have you to thank for that? Did you dial up this weather?
Actually, Mark Baden.
Baden!
So I had Baden
Blame it on Baden.
hour. Yep. And I told him, if we're going to blame him when the weather's terrible, he's got to take the kudos for when it's nice. Joining me now is communications manager and storyteller extraordinaire with our Wisconsin State Fair, Tim McCormick.
Is that because of the Irish thing? Is that what you're thinking? The McCormick that makes me a storyteller extraordinaire?
No, I think it's your LinkedIn profile. I think it says storyteller. You can write anything on the internet and people will believe it. Come on.
And repeat it.
Yes. Well, we are here. We are at the Wisconsin State Fair. I don't think you could have drawn up better weather for day one.
Goodness. You plan and you prepare and you try to take care of every little detail. You never know what Mother Nature is going to do. Yep. She's definitely smiling on us here in West Allis, Wisconsin today.
No doubt about it. And I walked in and I walked by all the different food items and I walked up and down here.
Does this thing have smell-o-vision by chance?
It should. You should be. Yeah. If you could smell all the smells through YouTube. And remember, follow us, subscribe at The Fan Milwaukee on YouTube. Normally I'm on 9 to 11 with Mason Crosby.
Yeah.
But Mason does the show from home in Nashville. And so I said, I got to be at the fair. So they moved me to 11 to 2. But Mason did say the first thing you need to do is funnel cake.
All right.
It's got to be the first thing. So you see.
He don't lie, folks. There is one right off camera here.
And we showed the picture of it earlier. But funnel cake to me is the way, like when you talk
yours.
State Fair.
Okay.
It's like fried dough / funnel cake.
Yep.
And I'll try the alligator.
Yeah.
I'll try the everything on a stick. But like tried and true to me, funnel cake.
What about the cream puff? Where do you come down on the cream puffs?
Oh, you want the? I am.
Is this a controversial topic?
I don't think it's controversial.
Set off?
I don't like cream puffs. I don't eat cream puffs. I think they're a waste of space.
Okay.
I think they're a waste of calories.
Caloric, intake. Yeah.
Like I will eat my calories. There is no fear about that. But I'm not doing it through. Now I'll have a bite of a cream puff.
Yeah.
And I'll actually like a bite.
Yeah.
But once you get like halfway through and the cream makes the bread all soggy and like, what are we doing?
You're not
here?
eating it fast enough. I think that's your issue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I did do I did the contest one year.
No kidding.
And I know my good friend Dario Melendez has won a few years.
Yep.
And then there was some controversy with him and Molly Snyder from Milwaukee. I love when there's controversy. By the way, that's one of my favorite things because Mad Dario is hilarious. Dario. But so you're right. Like that was eating it fast. Eating it straight from the fridge, I think is the way to go.
Yep.
But on a 95-degree
day, I was
going to
say,
I'm gonna get something else.
One more reason why today is ideal. They're not melting so quickly. Any ice creams, whatever you get here today.
All right, so I'm going to ask you about the Brewers and the Packers and Wisconsin sports. But first, I want to ask you, like, what new foods,
right?
Whether it was, who won the Sporkies,
yes.
what was in the Sporkies,
yes.
what sounds amazing, what sounds crazy. Is there like an old-fashioned on a stick again this year, or old-fashioned wontons or whatever?
Wings, I know for sure. They're old-fashioned wings found at the Bud Pavilion.
Nice,
be sure to check those out. Dario was nice enough to MC the Sporkies and Drinkies contest
the other day.
How do I
get an invite to that?
I'm making a note here.
I just want to taste. I just want to be a taster. I want to vote. I don't need the listen. I love a microphone. Don't get me wrong, but Dario, I don't want to mess with.
Right? Yeah. He's very proud of that gig. He wants to hold on to that tightly.
We love you, Dario.
So
So what's new this year? What's exciting? What won?
First place.
Okay.
It's a long title here, so I had to bring my notes. Ube butter banana French toast lumpia from Lumpia City, and they're actually just down the way here, just past the bricks there. If you need to check out one of those.
Does lumpia mean something?
I believe it's like a wonton in Filipino culture.
Okay.
Please don't at me on this one, but I'm pretty sure that's
ube
it.
is. I know ube because ube is like a purple butter.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Because I've had an ube coffee drink at Stone Creek. They
right. Yep.
Ube maple or whatever.
Yep.
All right, so butter banana French. So it's basically kind of like a bananas Foster.
Yep.
In like
nice
in
bite-sized
a wonton
portion
almost.
there.
Well, that sounds
yeah,
amazing.
Yes.
I'll take two.
My favorite, of course, being a Wisconsinite, second place.
Okay.
Brat Rangoon from Worst Bar. And again, just around the corner here. Great stuff there.
You put brat in anything. I mean, that sounds amazing.
And if you don't mind, I just want to complete the list.
Go
Third
for
place.
It. Oh, so this is what Charlie say hi.
Yeah.
Say hi to Tim.
All right. Tuning in?
Yeah. No. Charlie's our producer.
Wait, from Charlie's Pizza?
No. No, our producer Charlie. So, but this is what he's excited about.
Mexican street corn pizza from Charlie's Pizza.
Oh, it's
sorry for my confusion there, but that's
okay.
what I thought. Maybe there was a
I didn't
tie in
realize
there.
that it was from Charlie's Pizza.
Yes.
Charlie, did you hear that? It's from Charlie's Pizza. That's amazing.
Maybe name drop there, and they'll just slide you one.
It'd be like, show me your ID that you're Charlie.
Yes.
So that sounds amazing. I definitely want to try that. I do love the tried and true dill pickle pizza as well. Love the dill pickle pizza.
I was very surprised when I first tried that how much I would love it. Yes.
Yeah. And now it's kind of mainstream.
Yeah.
Like you can find it
at many pizzerias. Yes.
Absolutely.
All right. And then the drinkies, they only do a first place for that one.
Okay.
Purple Rain Refresher from Rock and Roll Beer Garden. Again, just found beyond the dairy building there.
You don't know what's in that, do you?
I'm going to misquote them.
Yeah, that's okay.
But I know there's grapefruit soda, grape juice, and there's one other in there. But I do know the last two items that they add are some glitter. And then you remember Pop Rocks?
Edible glitter.
Yes.
Oh, and Pop Rocks?
And Pop Rocks.
All right.
So there's a little auditory sensation. I'll try to bring one of those by for you.
I'm 17,000% having a Purple Rain Refresher from Rock and Roll Beer Garden. So purple's my favorite color.
Oh, all right.
You see my backpack, my mug, my sneakers. Like I do a lot of purple. So that is going to be my new not just at the fair,
right?
But just on Earth.
Period. Yes.
That is going to be my new favorite drink.
I'll try to swing one by here for you.
How excited do you get for the new food items? And do you ever get nervous? Do you ever get wait, that sounds a little too outside the box?
Yes. There are definitely a few. I think we had to put a disclaimer because there's a Bavarian donut that has some crustaceans on there.
Yeah. Okay. And there's crickets and all that
yes,
sort of stuff?
yes. And
I'm sorry. I would eat that.
The bugs.
I would eat that.
They
I would eat bugs.
They say if you have an allergy to crustaceans,
okay.
maybe stay away from that. But you'd be down for that?
I would eat the bugs. Absolutely.
All right. So if we get an eating contest for that kind of thing,
I'm in.
You're down for that?
For sure.
Excellent.
I don't think I can take down Joey Chestnut, but I think I would do okay.
But that's the thing about the fair. From the entertainment to the music to the accessibility, we try to program to have something for everybody. And looking
really
around
do.
today, it's no lie, right?
No.
Yeah.
It really is. You walk through the fair, and whether it's food or whether it's entertainment, whether it's stuff for kids. I mean, I take it back to the Milk House.
Yeah,
the Milk House is one of the all-time great spots at the fair that I think people look forward to. I think there are people out there who come to the fair every year just to come to the Milk House because that's what they did when they were kids. They've been coming there forever, and they just have to go to and we are right across. We are literally right across. So if you're going to the Milk House, stop by, say hi to me from 11 to 2, say hi to Sparky from 2 to 5. We're here today, tomorrow, and all the weekdays next week.
Excellent.
All right, so I know you got, so we are also facing, and I parked in the infield.
Yeah, how cool is that?
Yeah, I love driving in. Although I hate the line because I just want to gun it.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
I just want to go flying around the infield.
Thank you for keeping safety paramount for us.
But we are right across from the Milwaukee Mile racetrack, and I know you've got a big race coming up here after State Fair.
We're 3 weekends away. The Snap-on 250. It's been a few years now that IndyCar racing has come back to Milwaukee. We're excited to once again welcome that back. We're going to have some surprise guests. I believe tomorrow a racer is going to be on the grounds here.
Wow. Okay.
Well,
if they're here from 11 to 2 and you want to pop them on the radio,
great idea. Great idea. Yeah.
That's why we're here.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
To talk sports.
Yep.
To talk Milwaukee.
Yep.
To talk the fair.
That all comes
to talk food.
All
to
comes
talk
together.
community.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I'll make that happen.
So you've got that coming up.
August 23rd, 24th. Yeah, like I say, 3 weeks away here.
Awesome.
You can start your visit at wistatefair.com. Figure out how you want to plan your feast through the Wisconsin State Fair, and then you're just one or two clicks away from getting tickets to that as well.
So I know you don't plan it this way, and I don't know how this affects things, but the Brewers are off today, and then they're out of town for a week.
Right.
Is there any again?
A new guy here, but I'm near certain there are some considerations that are taken into effect
absolutely.
when we're trying to schedule that.
So how does that affect things when you look at when you see? You know what the dates of the fair are going to be.
Right.
And then when the Brewers schedule come out, is there any sigh of, do you want the Brewers in town so that there's more going on and more craziness on the freeway system? Or do you want, or does it help out with a little bit less going on?
As the communications manager, the PR guy, I think I might be getting those calls if traffic gets to be too bad.
Yes.
I'm happy that it's working out this way.
Yeah. But how fun has it been with the Brewers this summer?
Oh, my goodness.
Just following along.
Oh, my goodness. It started before the All-Star break, right?
Yep.
Great to take 2 out of 3 from those Cubbies, even though too many of those Northsiders were in the stadium
There
for us.
There were too many yesterday.
Yes.
But taking 2 out of 3, that's the
good.
big. That's
came out of it still a game ahead in the division, right?
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Such great storylines with the Miz. My goodness.
And nationally, and
Yeah.
part of it was like,
we
furor
don't
of the
get
All-Star
those.
game.
Yeah.
But then that made everybody watch,
Right.
And now
He
everybody
played it perfectly too, right?
did.
They're not mad at me necessarily, right? Yeah.
And every time he pitches, he's got a smile on his
Yes.
face.
Yes.
How cool would it be?
Yeah.
To be. I'm guessing you're a couple years older than 23.
Just a couple.
Guess.
Yes.
I am as well.
Yes,
You can see the
yes.
color of my hair. How cool would it be to be just like 23 and to be doing what he's doing?
Right. King of Milwaukee already. I think I saw him take a Miller Brewery tour not too long ago, right?
Yep.
He's fitting right in here.
It's amazing. And then Packers training camp has started.
Yes.
Like we are.
We're just a couple of practices in, you said, right?
We're like 5-6 practices. They started last Thursday, I think. So they're a weekend basically.
Yeah.
But it's can you believe that it's State Fair, and that State Fair also coincides with football season.
Yep. Very excited for that. Yep. We have the Hall of Fame game already. I know the Packers aren't playing in that one, but I think tonight, right? Yeah.
I'm going to be talking about that a little bit more in the 1 o'clock hour. The Detroit Lions are playing against the
division.
I want to say San Diego Chargers.
Yeah, always.
I know
always.
they're the
LA doesn't roll off the tongue anymore.
To me, they're always the San Diego Chargers.
Fouts,
there's a game
back in the
tonight.
days. Yes. July.
Again, it's not even August 1st yet. And that's what I think is so wonderful about all these things going on. It's like football's here.
Yep.
The Brewers are playing so well, and Wisconsin State Fair is in the middle of all of it.
One more tie-in. We actually used to host Packer games way back in the day.
Yes.
I think there's a couple of photos in the Expo.
Yes,
in the Expo Center here.
So if you drive in on the Milwaukee Mile, just picture if the Packers were playing a game on the infield. That actually used to happen.
Right? On a fairly regular basis.
How crazy is it to think, not just Packers, but all professional sports, like back in the 40s and 50s and 60s, how different it was.
Yes.
These guys had jobs in the offseason.
Yes.
Because they were making $40,000 a year, if that.
Yeah.
And they had to supplement their income. And now it's like, the with all due respect to the Milwaukee Mile,
right.
Like the amount of changes the infield would need to be NFL approved.
Right. Oh, yeah.
We saw what happened in Brazil last year with not really being game ready and Jordan Love hurting his knee at the end of the game.
Yeah. Nothing
but
like
it's
that
like,
again.
but that used to be a thing. Like, let's play where
Line
we
them
can
up.
play.
Let's go.
I'll bet people around the neighborhood could walk in at some point and just watch.
Peer over the fence, maybe see it for free. Yeah,
unbelievable.
All
right, so we talked about the food. We talked about there's something for everyone. What else is it about the fair that gives you the warm fuzzies? That just man, the fair is here.
I think it's the greatest fair in the land. I've been trying to think of a few good reasons. There's not another state fair that has spotted cow.
Perfect.
Number one reason there, right?
Yes, absolutely.
The cream puffs,
delicious.
I know present company excluded.
But I also respect
the tradition, right?
And that people love them and line up for them.
Yes.
And I love that for them.
Yep.
They're not for me, but if they're for the majority, who am I to argue with the people?
Yep. Another highlight for me, and I'm going to take it a little personal here, are the competitions. From somewhat silly, which I have a history with, but then you see these 4-H kids that I think I startled a cow when I was driving around on the golf cart earlier today.
I love it.
But they're getting ready to show their prized animals here, and if they walk away with a blue ribbon, that's a memory made for a lifetime here.
Absolutely, and that's I think that's one of the things that so many of us who come to the fair kind of forget about until we get here.
Especially with how close we are to downtown Milwaukee.
Right.
But then you have that taste of the farm
life
here.
Urban, suburban feel, being in, West Milwaukee, Wauwatosa, West Dallas, all kind of that are kind of more urban suburbs.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden you come here and you turn left and there's all the livestock. And it's like, wow, this is Wisconsin.
Yes.
And the merging of that is what we're proud of.
Absolutely.
When you talk about
that's
our state.
what we want to showcapes, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
I love it. Well, Tim, this has been great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for jumping
Much
on.
appreciated.
Yes.
Let's make it annually.
Yeah, let's do it annually. And next week, don't be a stranger. Like when
Excellent.
you come by,
Excellent.
we'll say, hey, well, you'll give us
Perfect.
an update on
Perfect.
what's going on.
Perfect. Love it.
And we'll do it. Today is the Major League Baseball trade deadline, so we are
tracking all those,
vociferously checking Twitter to see every update that's going on. So we will stay on top of that. We've got some more Packers stuff to get to. We've got some more Brewers stuff to get to. Jeff McCarthy from Bank 59.
Excellent.
It's going to join us in the next hour to give
Awesome.
us kind of a rundown on what's going on at the stage.
Perfect.
And I know Darius Rucker's coming and a bunch of others.
Yes.
So that should be a blast as well. So, Tim, again, thank you so much. And if a Purple Rain refresher
just happens to rain
show
down
up,
on you,
I mean, no one would complain. So, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
He's Tim McCormick, Communications Manager, Chief Storyteller, Guru with the Wisconsin State Fair. My name's Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. You're listening to Thunder at the Fair on The Fan.